Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. Well, there's lots of us. Kasey, Stevie,
it's the crew.
Gab, and Frank. Frank, first question is for you. Why won't Zidane take the Manchester United job? He's coached excellent players like Ronaldo and Varane before. He's wanted to coach Pogba. And Madrid had interest in signing Donny van de Beek when he was Madrid manager. It seems like the dream job for any competent manager.
Well, really, I'm not sure about that, but yeah, well, if you look at the Manchester United history and the big club it is, yes, you might want to go, but you have to look at the state of the club right now, and I'm not sure that the level that Zidane wants to see before going there. And on top of it, I'm not Zidane, so I cannot really answer. I know exactly what he thinks, but I never thought that Zidane wanted to have a long career. He had an opportunity to become a coach in Real Madrid and has been absolutely fantastic. He might have gone to Juventus Turin. He might go for the national team position, but I don't see him going anywhere else. I don't think it's will. I think he wants to live in Madrid right now. He wants to have his days off, and he doesn't want to go to the north of England. That's why maybe he doesn't go there.
Pretty much exactly what Jules said as well. Gab, should UEFA change the format for their qualifiers rather than big teams wasting time facing the smaller teams?
Well, given I come from a country of, 62, 63 million, and we played a country of 1.8 million in Northern Ireland, yeah, I'd argue yeah, but no. No, look, this comes up time and again in pre-qualifying and so on. And my take is, guys, it's 2 games against San Marino. Deal with it. I think what was really important is that they have the Nations League so that countries like this can develop and play against teams that, you know, are kind of their equals, and that's how they grow. But they also want to play the big teams, you know, once in a while. And I don't really see this whole upset about making them pre-qualify. You make them pre-qualify, they're going to end up playing fewer matches. They're going to develop even less. I don't see. I just don't see the point of this. I mean, you see this in other confederations where they have pre-qualifying, where, you know, the tiny teams, you know, they go into their pre-qualifying, they get thumped, and then that's it. And then they hardly play until, you know, the next World Cup or continental competition comes around. And I don't think that's right either.
I don't think I've heard many people complaining about the European setup. Listen, I had a problem with expanding the World Cup, so
well,
that
there's definitely
you ended up
some
with.
who complain.
Nah, but how do these teams get a chance then? So yeah. As far as the qualifiers, exactly. I think the way it is fantastic. Oh, I'm against the expanding the World Cup, but for the qualifiers, no.
If these clubs can, or these countries, these smaller countries, can still put out a group of guys knowing that they have the potential of getting beat 10-0 by England. But Stevie, you were telling me a story that in Scotland you guys struggled one time to beat San Marino. So, I mean, think of what that meant to the San Marino players to push you guys as hard as you could. I mean, so it's like their little World Cup.
It might link to the next question, actually, in the end. And I have a feeling that Ale and Kasey might have some good answers for this one. Tomorrow night's Mexico-Canada game in Edmonton is supposed to be -10 Celsius with a chance of snow. What are the worst conditions you've played in during your career, Kasey?
I had a UEFA Cup game against Lokomotiv Moscow in November where it was -20 and the pitch was like that. And guess what? It was 0-0. Nobody was interested.
But you kept a clean sheet.
I did. But the one thing I remember is it was when I was playing for Rayo. Come in at halftime, the kit man had a big block of paraffin that he put in the garbage can and lit a fire in the locker room. And all the Spanish guys were huddled around a fire. And the German player and I looked at this and just went, we've seen everything now.
Oh, wow.
There's a campfire in the locker room for the Spanish guys to get warm.
Ale?
Well, we had this question a couple of days ago. And I'll just revisit. We played in the middle of summer, ESPN Soccer Saturday, as it was called back then. And 3 o'clock kickoff in Dallas, and it was hot as hot could be, and we were playing in turf. The cotton ball was getting remodeled at the time, and it was black turf, and it was just attracting the heat and radiating heat as well. So when we were running on the turf, eventually you could feel that the shoes, the bottom of our shoes, were melting. Now, you prepare for a lot of things in your life as a player. You don't prepare for the fact that you go into halftime, look at the bottom of your shoes, and they're melting. The material is gone. And so, what do you do? Of course, you put on a different pair of shoes, but it's quite a realization that it's that hot out there that my shoes are melting. There's something wrong with that.
All right, so this one was up the other day. Frank, were you on the show the other day when that question was asked?
No, I don't think so, no.
Do you have a tale to tell us?
Yes, I had the chance to play for Strasbourg for 5 years. So every year, because the field wasn't heated during the winter time, I had to play, like 2 or 3 games on the half-frozen field on the length, meaning that the left side was frozen and the right side was unfrozen because of the sun during the daytime. And so we had to play at 8 p.m. And as a sweeper, I was playing in the middle. It was quite a nightmare because on the left side I was doing ice skating, and on the right side I was doing like a muddy game. So, but that's what it was. It was really a nightmare. And most of the time, as Kasey said, we drew 0-0.
We actually, as a point, we played East Germany in the under-21s when it was behind Iron Curtain. And there was almost about a foot of snow on the field, and there's no way the game wasn't being played. But what they did was they dug out the lines. Right. So they so we were playing up here, but all the lines had been dug out all the way around the field, and you're like, how about just clear the snow off? No, dug the lines.
Just
out.
The lines.
Any little dips, any little falls?
Oh, you've got that.
You're lifting it, trying to lift the ball.
Yeah.
All right, Ale, why are media ignoring Argentina's unbeaten run? They are not being given the credit for the turnaround.
What media is ignoring Argentina? Does Lionel Messi not play for Argentina? All the coverage that you get in South America and CONMEBOL qualifiers start with 2 teams, Brazil and Argentina. And whether they're doing well or not, that is the first topic of conversation. And then it filters down to the rest. So Argentina have been given the credit they deserve in the sense that they won Copa America. We've talked about that long and hard for a long period of time. There's no question that Argentina are playing a different style than what they have been in the past. They are far more focused on defending first and then allowing the talented players in the attack to create 1 or 2 opportunities. That's how they won Copa America. And if indeed they're going to be a team that is going to contend for the World Cup, they'll do the same thing in Qatar. And that is, they'll defend well, they'll be physical through the midfield, and then hope that Di Maria or Messi or Lautaro Martinez or somebody does something special in the attacking half.
Physical in midfield?
Yeah.
Have you ever been kicked by an Argentinian player before?
Yeah, in the midfield. And whenever we actually attacked Argentina, yes, I got kicked there too.
Stevie, who's worse, Fernando Santos or Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? Both have great attacking talents, but don't seem to know how to use them.
Well, that's the easiest question of the day.
Okay.
Count the trophies. How many's Ole got? Santos? European champions, right?
Okay, so that excuses everything else. Because then you could say that Ole
It doesn't excuse every single other thing, but the question is, who's the better of the two? One's got a European championship under his belt, and the other one's got.
All right.
So,
but one has got a playoff route to go through as well now to try and get to the World Cup.
yeah, but if you look, hold on a second. Let me get. Hold on. I'll just look up the record books here. Page 46.
Hey, it's short for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
European champions. I'll go to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer page. Oh, there's not a
Gab,
page.
help me out.
Ole's not got a page.
Wait, Stevie, you're not impressed with the? I'm pretty sure Ole won a couple Norwegian titles when he was at Molde. But does that not balance out the European Championship that Fernando Santos won?
European Championship.
Also, Fernando Santos is what?
No, not quite.
He's 15 years older. Why don't you give Ole another 15 years and see if he catches up with Fernando Santos, right?
Tell you what,
He's got a 15-year head start.
Make it fair. I'll give him 50 years.
Okay, Gab, I'm going to stick with you because you had some nice things to say about this team. Is Switzerland one of the most underrated teams at the moment, knocking out France, qualifying over Italy, and so on and so on?
Look, they've been doing this for a while, right? They've got these players who are kind of sneakily good. I mean, you look at, again, Swiss football, you look at, and again, we can all laugh at Young Boys Bern, for example, but hey, they're there. They're in the group stages of the Champions League. It's a big deal for Switzerland. I think they have some really interesting, exciting young players coming through. Okafor from Salzburg. He scared the life out of me when he played against Italy. Did well against this weekend as well against Bulgaria. They have a great goalkeeper, and they've got a bunch of injured guys who are going to come back. So yeah, I think they're good. And as we heard earlier, this is a team that knocked out France at the Euros, nearly knocked out Spain. I think you sleep on Murat Yakin's Switzerland at your peril.
Okay, Frank, who's the more likely to miss out on the World Cup, Portugal or Italy?
Oops. Well, I don't know. I think that would be a shame for any one of them, and hopefully they're gonna both be qualified. But I think I will give more chance to Italy. They are the European champion, and like always, or almost always, Italy managed to get qualified. So I will go for Italy, but no, I think both of them will go through with another one. Maybe let's say Sweden and Zlatan. I want Zlatan in a World Cup.
Nice. Stevie, I get as Scots, we're always negative, but that's 6 wins on the spin now. So what does Stevie make of Scotland so far? Asks Sean Mullin.
We are competitive with anybody. We will compete with anybody. I'm not saying we're going to beat France if we played them tomorrow.
Are you excited again now?
Well, I watch now thinking that there's a chance that we actually might win. That's the difference, because before you were watching going, well, it's only a matter of time before somebody messes up, or somebody scores a great goal against us, or we miss chances. I mean, it's just, we've been doing it for years. But now, I'm actually watching going, I think we've got a chance to win this game.
Is there hope?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Oh. Now, here's a question, though. Why are you guys so negative? Because my interaction with Scots are you and Craig Burley.
Right.
So the sample size is not great.
Okay. The shiny happy people.
I can't disagree, but I don't know why.
Is it negative or is it realistic, Stevie?
I think it's probably a lot more realistic, but there's definitely a little tinge of DNA negativity there.
Right.
No question.
So if you want to go visit Scotland, do we base it upon my experiences that I've had with you and Craig, or...
Well, no, so here's the thing.
Is there something better out there?
Here's the thing. The worst thing that can happen is we can get 2 Scots together. Because we feed off it. We feed off it.
Yeah.
But if you get us on our own, then that's a different ballgame.
Well, if I get you on your own.
All right.
I don't want to talk about people that are not here. But
I guess Craig's not a good example. He's pretty unique.
Okay.
Craig's actually been in a great mood lately.
Wow.
Hey?
I tell you.
All right.
Brilliant mood.
Hey,
Pray tell.
you package that, please.
Well, watch the show and you'll see. All right, Stevie, who's the best midfielder in the Premier League currently?
Oof, Bernardo Silva.
Gallagher.
Go on.
Who did he say?
Conor Gallagher.
Conor Gallagher.
Yeah, he's in Don's player power rankings for the Premier League.
Yeah, he's
Come
doing
on.
not bad. I'll be honest. I think Bernardo Silva right now is as good as anybody.
All right. Gab, who was better in their prime, Gareth Bale or Neymar Jr.?
Oh, well, I'm not. Is Neymar's prime over, or is there more to come? I think I would lean towards Neymar, simply because I think his prime lasted longer than Gareth Bale's. In the one-off game, when Gareth Bale just takes off like that, I could see he's terrible. He's really difficult to stop and whatnot. But no, I still think in the prime, if you're talking about one great game, maybe, but a prime defined as like 6 months or a year at the top of your career, I'd go with Neymar.
Frank, would you go with Neymar?
Yes, I would. For the same reasons. And on top of it, I think Gareth Bale was a beast. It was unstoppable. But Neymar, at his prime, as you said, was a genius. That's for me the difference.
Is there anybody who wouldn't say Neymar here?
No, I wouldn't think so.
No.
I don't even think it's a question, to be honest with you.
Okay.
You take
FIFA Master, that is not a question, okay? Lastly, why does Stevie disrespect the Bundesliga? He claims that Bundesliga players flop in the Premier League. Well, this is why they're saying you disrespect it, right?
all I did was...
Yet there are players like De Bruyne, Son, Gundogan, Aubameyang and Firmino who clearly prove his point wrong. Even managers like Klopp and Pep were brought in from the Bundesliga, Stevie.
Well, why are you folding your arms?
You're so negative. Why are you so negative?
Well, see, here's the thing. Like, no offence to whoever sent this question in, but they clearly never listened to a word they said.
He probably couldn't understand it.
The question that I was asked was about Manchester United specifically. And I said that there was 3 players who were superstars in the Bundesliga who all went to Manchester United and flopped. And I didn't know whether it was to do with the Bundesliga or whether it was to do with Man United. That's what I said.
Very
I
sensible.
didn't say all Bundesliga.
Yeah, I was there, and I can confirm that Stevie was right. I can confirm Stevie is absolutely right.
He was talking that was said too.
Thank you. Well,
he
don't
was
be
right
folding
because
your
he didn't
arms
talk
again.
about Werner. So
I was just trying to illustrate the question.
Thank you, Frank.
In the style of the person who asked it. There's no name there. But Stevie doesn't disrespect the Bundesliga. He loves
Not
the
at all.
Bundesliga. And he'll be watching the Bundesliga when it returns at the weekend after qualifying is over. Anyway, thanks so much for being with us.
Keep going.
When it returns.
Somebody else does that.
Sometime.
Who is it?
In the future.
All right, that's it. Join us every day, 7 days a week,
On
for
ESPN.
more rambling questions from me on Extra Time.
Does that.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.